Good afternoon, everyone. This is Debbie Royce, the New York Job Development Authority's Acting Secretary. I'd like to welcome everyone to this afternoon's meeting. And before we formally begin, I would ask everyone to please mute your audios unless you're speaking. We'll begin today by taking a roll call of the members to ensure we have a quorum present on the line. Please be so kind as to say present when we call your name. Chair Eric Gertler.
I'm present.
Alfredo Assad.
Present.
Adam Barsky.
Present.
Emily Yusuf.
Present.
Karen Coleman, designee for the New York State Department of Labor, Commissioner Roberta Reardon.
Present.
Steve McGrattan, designee for New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets, Commissioner Richard Ball.
Present.
Linda Sun, designee for New York State Department of Financial Services, Superintendent Linda Lacewell.
Present.
Thanks so much, everyone, for joining today. And Chairman Gertler, you can begin.
Thank you, Debbie, and good afternoon. I now call to order the meeting of the members of the New York Job Development Authority for Thursday, June 24th, 2021. Before we get started, I will ask that everyone please mute their phone until you are ready to speak. Also, for the record, I will ask that anyone wishing to speak, please be sure to state your name before you begin. I'd like to note for the record that due to the public health concerns and as authorized by an executive order of the governor, this meeting will be conducted by teleconference. I will also note for the record that the public was given the opportunity to comment on the agenda items by submitting their comments by 4:30 p.m. yesterday. I'd like to state for the record that no comments were received from the public concerning today's agenda items. I'd also like to note that today is actually the last day which we're doing this, and thankfully because of strong efforts of New Yorkers and the leadership of the governor, this has now lapsed, the idea that we have to do these by the phone. So it's really a momentous day. I'd like to note that the members have received the written materials in advance of this meeting and are free to ask questions at any time during the presentation. I will now ask the members whether anyone has a potential conflict of interest with respect to any of the items on the agenda. If so, I will ask you to please make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time. We will then be sure that you may recuse yourself from any discussion or vote with regard to such item or item. So I'll just hold and wait and see. Okay, hearing none, I would like to call upon Ray Salaverios to present the next item on today's agenda, which relates to the reexamination of JDA's mission statement and related performance measurements and the acceptance of the performance measurement report for the 2020-2021 fiscal year. Ray, when you're ready.
Thank you very much, Eric. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Beautiful weather today, so that's a good thing. In accordance with the Public Authorities Law, the New York Job Development Authority adopted the following mission statement and related performance measures to assist the authority and determine how well it is carrying out its mission. Pursuant to the Public Authorities Law, the authority must re-examine its mission statement and related performance measurements annually to ensure that its mission has not changed and that the performance measurements continue to support its mission. To assist the members in their review, the mission statement and related performance measurements are set forth below. The mission statement. The New York Job Development Authority spurs growth and job growth and capital investment in New York State by using the authority granted to it and by leveraging state-guaranteed bonds to support low-interest loans to manufacturers and other targeted industries throughout New York State. The performance measurements are the annual number of transactions closed, the aggregate value of bonds issued, the number of jobs retained and created with each investment transaction, the amount of private capital investment leveraged, the number of transactions delinquent, the number of transactions in default, and the number of transactions approved by the authority during the reporting period. Upon these measurements, JDA may evaluate its performance and the achievement of its goals. I'm going to read the 2021 Performance Measurement Report. During the fiscal year 2020-2021, the authority continued its efforts to expand the authority's loan portfolio and increase awareness of the authority's products in the lending and business communities throughout the state. During this period, the members approved one loan for a project evidencing firm commitments from responsible financial sources for the total project cost, exclusive of any loan request from the authority. The total JDA board approved amount of the loan was $1,340,000. And pursuant to Article 8 of Title 8 of the Public Authorities Law, this project was approved prior to its actual commencement. Closing on the authority's loans and disbursement of its funds occurs upon project completion. It generally takes several months or more than a year to complete typical projects subsequent to approval by the authority. Because job creation and/or retention and the measurement of capital investment leverage can only properly be done after project completion and closing, the projects approved by the authority this year have not yet resulted in any reportable job creation, retention, or capital leverage. It is noted that staff made significant efforts to identify and analyze transactions that, for various reasons, staff determined were not eligible for presentation to the members. It is anticipated that the approved project of $1,340,000 will leverage $2,010,000 in private capital while retaining 28 jobs and creating 7 new jobs. On another note, 14 new loans totaling $1,106,000 were approved as part of the aggregate $10 million that was established the JDA Agricultural Loan Fund. It is anticipated that the 14 JDA agricultural loans will leverage $6.8 million in private capital while retaining 49 jobs and creating an additional 32 jobs. The JDA Agricultural Loan Program was created to make loans to lenders, which will in turn provide finance to businesses that serve the agriculture industry, which will otherwise face difficulties in obtaining capital at a reasonable cost for establishing or expanding their enterprises and businesses. No transactions went into default during fiscal year 2020-2021, and the authority issued no bonds during the reporting period. The members are requested to confirm their re-examination of the mission statement and related performance measurements and to accept the fiscal year 2020-2021 performance measurement report in accordance with the Public Authorities Law. Based on the foregoing, I recommend approval of the requested actions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Are there any questions or comments from the members with regard to this item? Okay, Ray, clearly you've done a terrific job presenting the action. So, as noted earlier, we do not have any comments from the public with regard to this item. I will now entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, Ray, thank you. The motion carries. I would now like to call upon Kathleen Mize to present the next item on today's agenda, which relates to the approval of certain annual financial reports. Kathleen, take it away.
Thank you, Chairman Gertler, and good afternoon, members. The Public Authorities Law requires annual approval by the authority members and certifications by the President and Chief Executive Officer and the Chief Financial Officer of certain financial reports, the reports. The reports consist of financial information set forth in the Combined Financial Statements and Independent Auditor's Report, March 31, 2021 and 2020, the Audit Report, as prepared with the authority's independent audit firm, EFPR Group, LLP. The audit report for the fiscal year ended March 31, 2021, contains an unmodified, unqualified, clean opinion reflecting that the combined financial statements present fairly, in all material respects, the financial position, results of operations, and cash flows of the authority. In addition, the Independent Auditor's Report on Internal Control over Financial Reporting and on compliance addressing whether control deficiencies or material weaknesses in internal control exist, did not identify any deficiencies that would be considered to be material weaknesses. The audit firm was able to obtain reasonable assurance that the authority's financial statements are free of material misstatement by performing tests of compliance with certain provisions of laws, regulations, contracts, and grant agreements, including the authority's investment guidelines and other matters. Non-compliance with any of these could have had a direct and material effect on the financial statements. Their testing revealed no instances of non-compliance or other matters that are required to be reported. Included in the materials presented is the complete audit report for the fiscal year ended March 31, 2021. The preparation of the audit report included 30% participation by MBE and WBE firms and 6% by an SDVOB firm. The Audit Committee of the Authority has reviewed the audit report and approves it for presentation to the members. In addition to me, the partners of our audit firm are also on the phone, and we are happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the members with regard to this item? Okay. Kathleen, you did do a terrific job presenting it. As noted earlier, we do not have any comments from the public with regard to this item, so I will now entertain a motion for approval.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And now, Antov Padagian will now present an item relating to the adoption of the authority's revised procurement guidelines. Antov, take it away.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. The members are requested to adopt revised guidelines for JDA's procurement of goods and services. There have been no changes to the relevant laws or executive orders since the 2020 guidelines were adopted. Consequently, changes from the previous guidelines have only been made pursuant to ESD staff review. These changes include clarifying that purchases from MWBE firms over $250,000 must be approved by the board, explaining that pre-qualification follows a member of a pre-qualified firm when that member leaves the pre-qualified firm, clarifying the role of the procurement director during the bid evaluation and vendor selection, and establishing a protocol for debriefing unsuccessful bidders post-submission and post-award. As with all previous guidelines, the 2021 guidelines are a mirror image of ESD's 2021 procurement guidelines, and those were adopted by the ESD directors on March 25th. Thank you.
Great. Great. Thank you, Antov. Any questions or comments from the members with regard to this item? Okay. Well, as noted earlier, we do not have any comments from the public with regard to this item, so I will now entertain a motion for approval.
Motion.
Great. A second?
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Great, great. So, any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries.
Thank you.
There being no further business, and we collectively, having run a very efficient meeting, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Great, great. Well, thank you to everyone for your participation in today's meeting, and thank you to Debbie for putting this together. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.